Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Hey, Elizabeth Dutton.
Zaron.
You know what's ridiculous?
Yes, I do know what's ridiculous.
Oh, hit me with it.
People who comment on recipes online with stuff like, that looks good. Can't wait to make it.
Is that ridiculous?
Well, I don't care. I mean, only say it if like, oh, this actually works. If you've made the recipe, you can comment.
So you don't want to hear enthusiasm?
I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't care what you think it might be. I want to. I want to results. I want to work with something that's going to help me get there.
But what if that's like feedback of enthusiasm? You can see how many people are excited to try this. You're like, I wasn't excited, but since everybody seems so excited, I'm going to give it a go.
Their excitement doesn't make me excited. Oh. You know, the other thing that I don't like is when people comment, well, I didn't like this recipe, but then again, I substituted, and then they list like, instead of turkey, I used bacon marshmallow grease. And then like just one thing after another. Well, of course it's not going to turn out. It asked for 2 cups of flour, but I only had 4 tablespoons.
So I used applesauce.
So I used that, but it didn't really come out. Negative reviews.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And my opinions on it are ridiculous.
Well, it kind of got a little bee in a bonnet, yeah.
There you go.
Well, I like that one, actually. It is ridiculous.
Sure,
Even though I don't really follow the recipe scene, it feels ridiculous.
You're not recipe core?
No.
Well,
I don't even know how to read a recipe.
I don't know what
There's
to
all
say
that stuff
to
at the beginning. Like, I'm like, when do we get to the recipe?
Like the words?
Well, no, I mean, like the story. I gotta like read the whole story before I can get to like 2 cups of butter.
No, you don't. Because now, a lot of times online, they'll have jump to recipe. Oh. And I hit that so fast.
Smash that.
I don't care about their journey. I just want the recipe.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ready for the story of a stolen brain?
No, not really.
No, well, that's what I got for you.
Okay.
So it's a good one. It also has a road
jump to
trip.
Recipe.
This features a great American road trip, a stolen brain from a very famous person, and the trip to reunite it with that man's granddaughter.
Okay.
So, you ready for part 3 of our trilogy of the stories of famous stolen bodies?
So ready.
This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous. Elizabeth, today I would like to tell you the story of a man and his stolen brain.
Yes.
And that man's name is Albert Einstein.
That's a brain right there.
That's quite a big brain.
Yeah.
Now, just to get us started, have you ever thought about how much you're worth? I mean, your body, not like your like sense of like value.
The street value of my body?
Yeah, exactly. You ever considered that? Look here, I'll run it down what you have, what you're working with. All right, you got a body. It's 65% oxygen, 18% carbon, 10% hydrogen, about 3% nitrogen, 1.5% calcium, about % phosphorus. Then you got some trace elements, potassium, sulfur, odium, chlorine, magnesium, iron, iodine, silicon, a bunch, manganese, fluorine, copper, zinc, arsenic, aluminum, just a bunch of stuff, right? Now, if we set the prices for all these minerals and we ignore the recent spike in rare earth mineral prices and inflation prices, and we just go off of like, I'm going to say 2020 prices, your body would be worth $5.
That's generous.
Yeah, not just your body, my body, anybody's body is about worth $5.
But mine might be worth a little more because I'm all those percentages, but 100% attitude. Like a Tweety Bird on a t-shirt.
Does the gold or silver in my mouth count? Because I have some old fillings, gold and silver. So I think it's going to bump up like 510, 520.
Sure.
But when I ask all that, I don't really mean what is your body's worth. But like, let's just consider, well, I mean, we do put a price tag on body parts, like a body.
You are walking fine lines in my head here.
Like a black market kidney. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking living bodies.
No. I mean, like, like individual, you can put it on a scale body parts.
Okay.
So like a kidney, like what will that run you? About a couple grand on the black market, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, it seems about right. I don't really know the prices. I don't talk to people who like harvest kidneys, but I read some news stories. I see the prices.
Well, there are supply chain issues now, I bet.
I bet there are. Yeah. And with inflation, the prices have got to be going up. So let's say you have just one kidney, right? How much would one kidney be worth? because, it's going to be very valuable to the person who's waiting for the transplant, right?
Right.
And we typically sell functional organs on the black market.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the price and the value of that organ depends on how useful it is, right?
Well, and how clean it is.
Mm-hmm. How clean it is.
So someone who doesn't really drink a lot of water and holds their pee in a lot, their kidneys are not going to be very valuable.
Are you looking at me? I feel like you're looking at me.
I
feel
don't know
judgment
about your
coming this
pee-pee
way.
habits.
Let's just say sometimes I run a little dark.
I think you're telling on yourself here.
So let's just say, like there's a 4-day-old kidney, right? The 4-day-old kidney, nobody wants a 4-day-old kidney. You need a fresh kidney
Yeah,
to
you
go
need
in
a
the
freshie.
transplant, right? Yeah. So after a couple days, no matter how good the kidney is, no matter how clean the person is, how much water they drink, it doesn't matter because the kidney is going to go bad after a couple days out of the body, right? Spoilage, we'll call it, right? Now let's flip it and let's say it doesn't matter. We're not using the kidney for transplant. Let's just say we want to own the kidney because it once belonged to Prince. It's Prince's kidney. You're like, how much for Prince's kidney on the open market, right? Now that totally changes things. Even though it's just one kidney, it's still more valuable because of whose it was.
Right.
Right? Now
Okay.
that's essentially, like, how much do you think Prince's kidney would be worth?
I don't know. I think like it depends, I suppose, on what people want it for.
Yeah. I think that's a very key point.
Is it going to be sort of like freeze dried and then crushed, pulverized into a dust that people could snort? Is it going to be used in...
That's where you go with it. I was thinking like, they're going to crush it up and like give away little pieces like the True Cross and like the fans could all get a piece of a kidney.
Oh yeah, they could sell that as a commemorative. Or you could blend that dust into like some purple paint and then paint your Chevy Chevelle.
Prince's kidney purple.
Paint your 1989 Ford Taurus Prince purple, Prince kidney purple.
I like that. I like where your head's going with this.
I should be on Shark Tank.
You really should. I mean, just the business sense you have.
Oh,
it's amazing. It's amazing. So now let's just go to our man of the hour, Albert Einstein.
that's right.
What do you think the value of, say, his brain would be on the open market?
Now that's interesting because I would think that for research purposes that people why are you laughing at me?
I think that's funny. Research purposes are like, we can just unlock the brain and find the stuff in there.
Well, I mean, like, what if go with me on this one here.
I'm seatbelted. Go on.
What if you look at Einstein's brain and then you cut it open and there's like gems inside, special brain gems that we didn't know existed. And they're like, oh, snap. What if other people have the brain gems? How do we activate them? What if you cut it open and then a little man jumps out?
I love this. Descartes, by the way, would love this too.
Descartes is a little man who jumps out of the brain. See where I'm going with this?
I do.
It makes so much sense.
I'm just waiting for you to get to the pineal gland and the seat of the soul, and we'll just have it all sorted out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the issue of Albert Einstein's brain and what it's worth has actually been a debate for about almost a century.
Well, there you go.
I found this out when I was researching. It turns out that the world-famous Jewish physicist was a target of the Nazis, and they had designs on his head. In fact, so much so they put a price on his head.
Ugh,
yeah, exactly.
Sickos.
Now, according to the journalist Michael Paternity, he, and I quote, in 1933, a German newspaper reported that FEM, an extreme nationalist organization, had put a bounty of $5,000 on Einstein's head. When he heard the news, Einstein touched his hair and said, "I did not know it was worth so much." Then he fled, first to Britain and on to the United States, to Princeton, where in 1940 he became an American citizen. $5,000 on Einstein's head back then.
This is why when you see a Nazi, you punch a Nazi.
Oh, completely.
Like, no question.
Yeah.
This is the mindset.
This is the reason why.
This is what we have to stamp out. Yeah.
So Einstein, big fan of America. He gets to America. He flees the Germans. They don't get to put a price on his head. Now, when he gets here, his head is still super valuable. And I don't just mean the theory of relativity and the photoelectric effect and all the various things that he gave to the world of science, but also by this time, and we're now after World War II, we're into the 50s, and Israel has been formed. And Israel says, you know what? His head is worth it as the leader of a new state. We could have Einstein be the first prime minister of Israel. So they go to him, they go, "Hey, Albie, you want to be prime minister?" And he's like, no, I'm working on world peace, right? Now, I swear to God, this is his thing. He turns down being the leader of the newly founded Israel because he's really worried about the atomic age.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but I just kind of imagine his father father sitting there like, Senator Einstein, Governor Einstein, I had such high hopes for you.
I think he surpassed all that.
Well, no, it's the whole, the Godfather. I was just picturing his family would be so upset to him not to be the leader of Israel.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. I have no idea. Maybe his father didn't care about world politics. But the point is that Einstein, he wades into world politics, decides it's not for him. He finds that the world leaders are resistant to change. So by the 50s, he's pretty much just focusing on his gravity research and trying to get the last bits of his theory of relativity all worked out so he can include gravity because he's over the Earth. He's just like, By 1955, Einstein is now 76 years old. Mm-hmm. Okay, he feels worn out. Einstein, he remarks to a friend in the weeks leading up to him getting hospitalized, he says, I finished my task here. He's just done, right? Yeah. Now, at the same time, his doctors are warning him. They're like, hey, Albert, we need to perform surgery. You got this condition in your body. Your aorta is hardening. You got issues with your arteries. You could suffer a fatal aneurysm. So Einstein, when he hears this from his docs, he tells them, let it burst. I don't know why my Einstein is so all over the place, but there you go. So dude's done with the Earth. He's just all the way over, as I've said, right? So as his health is deteriorated, he's admitted to Princeton Hospital. His son, Hans Albert, flies out from Berkeley, California, where he's a professor, and his stepdaughter, Margot, she's there by his bedside. Everyone wants to see him for his last moments. And on a Sunday night, the attending doctor checks on Einstein. He seems to be fine. His son should be there in the morning. Sometime after midnight, the nurse, a woman named Alberta Roselle, she comes into Einstein's room to check on him. She finds him labored breathing. He's just struggling to breathe. He looks real pale. He's thin from not eating. And at this moment, he's just sitting there muttering in his native German. Mm-hmm. The nurse, listening to Einstein, she doesn't speak German. It's totally lost on her, whatever she's saying. He then kind of sits up, takes in 2 big inhales, exhales, and passes away. Oh. His final words are lost to time because the German is misunderstood by the nurse.
Right.
It's like the curse of a genius. His last words are misunderstood.
Yeah.
So the next morning, the world learns of Einstein's passing, right? So this news conference is hastily announced by Princeton Hospital. Meanwhile, around this same time, in the basement, there's a crime going down.
Oh.
Yes. Hospital pathologist Dr. Thomas Harvey is scheduled to perform an autopsy of Einstein's body. His mentor couldn't make it, so the task fell to him. So, time to meet our anti-hero of sorts, Thomas Harvey. Now, I want you to just try to get you into the mind of this guy. He's a 42-year-old doctor. He's a husband, father of 2. He was raised by Quaker parents in a Louisville community. He would later attend Yale. Then he would go to med school there. He gets a job at Princeton Hospital, where he's now working as a pathologist. Up-and-comer, striver, good career in front of him, right? Now, before he performs the autopsy on Einstein, Dr. Harvey had met Einstein a few times. He knows the guy. He'd gone to his house to take blood work. And I quote, Dr. Harvey said of Einstein, he was very informal and cordial, a very kind sort of man, right?
Yeah.
Now, he had, as I said, he had not expected to be the one to cut open Einstein's body. He was supposed to be his mentor, Dr. Harry Zimmerman, who was a neuroanatomist at Yale, right? Mm-hmm. But as Dr. Harvey recalled from 1990, and I quote, a fellow up in New York, my former teacher, Dr. Harry Zimmerman, he was going to do the autopsy, but then he couldn't get away. He rang me up and we agreed that I'd do it. Imagine my surprise.
Wow.
So fate cast them into this role, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Elizabeth, we're going to take a trip back in time to April 1955, to the fateful Princeton Hospital, and I want you to picture it.
I'm there.
Okay, the day, April 18th, 1955. In the Princeton Hospital morgue lies the body of the world's most famous scientist. It's near 8 a.m. in the morning, and Dr. Harvey arrives at the morgue. It's a green, tiled room, well lit, quiet as a crypt. You see that there are all sorts of hoses and vacuum tubes, as well as silver bowls, stainless steel hand tools. There's a scale for weighing organs, there's the operating tables, and of course, there's that really big refrigerator unit for all the dead bodies. Mm-hmm. Now, you watch the scene as it plays out before you. Now, for the rest of us, I'll read from the account from journalist Michael Paternity. Quote, Harvey says he took a scalpel in his fingers and sliced Albert Einstein open with a Y incision, tracing down from each collarbone and scoring the belly, the skin giving way like cellophane.
Oh.
Now, after the skin is peeled open, you marvel at the glistening organs revealed. It's like looking at Slim Goodbody, except for Slim Goodbody is a 76-year-old German-American physicist.
It's brave and true.
Exactly. Now, Dr. Harvey reaches into the cadaver, and you see him as he, quote, pulled back 2 heavy flaps of skin, like drapes. he took a saw in his right hand and cut open Einstein's chest. Inside the wet wonderland of the body.
His body is a wet wonderland.
Exactly. I knew you'd like that.
I know.
So the smell released from this wet wonderland was
Jeez.
just as intoxicating and intense as you can imagine, right? So you're watching Dr. Harvey root around in Einstein's chest cavity, and as Paternity puts it, quote, he remembers fingering Einstein's heart and then the stomach. Mm-hmm. Then a criminal temptation sets in. You watch as the doctor decides and then acts on his plan to steal the brain of the genius. Quote, working quickly with a knife, Harvey tonsured the scalp, slicing from below one of Einstein's ears, around the back of the head to the other ear, and then up and over the crown of the skull in an arcing motion. The skin peeled back from the bone with a ripping sound, like masking tape being pulled away from a surface. Harvey again shucked the skin on the face side so that now the dome of vanilla white skull was revealed in its entirety. Bearing down on a buzzsaw, he cut through Einstein's head, he cracked the skull like a coconut, he removed a cap of bone, peeled back the viscous meningus, and snipped the connecting blood vessels and nerve bundles and spinal cord, and then at last, there it was. A huge, rough pearl. He reached with his fingers into the chalice of the man's cranium and removed the glistening brain.
I am so queasy right now.
So sorry.
That was, wait.
So the pathologist, you watch him as he secrets away the brain.
Is there more?
No, that's
okay.
it. That's it.
You know I love a gross out, but
yeah, that's a bit much.
hot damn.
So Dr. Harvey sitting there with, Einstein's brain in his hand, playing like, Yorick, or playing rather, I guess, Hamlet with Yorick. He decides, I'm going to keep this thing for myself. I got to have this. And so he secrets away the stolen brain. He fills out the death certificate, official cause, rupture of the arteriosclerotic. Puts in birthplace, Ulm, Germany, citizen of USA, occupation, scientist. And that was it. Like that. It would take a while for the world to learn the brain of Albert Einstein had just been stolen. Grabbed like a cat burglar snatching up crown jewels.
Wow.
And after this break, we'll get into what happened to Einstein's wet calculator. Welcome back, Elizabeth. Do you have a chance to towel off and kind of recollect yourself?
Oh, I got some fresh air. I drank some water, blinked really hard.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I'll be okay.
I got no more gross outs for you, all right? This is just pure narrative now. Okay. Now we have a brainless Albert Einstein and a press conference coming up to announce his passing. The Princeton Hospital is all abuzz.
Wait, and a press conference.
Yes,
They said
and a
they're
press
going to wheel
conference.
him out weekend at Bernie
Hey,
style.
look what we did. Convertible Einstein.
They just took like an old sweater and shoved it in the cavity where his brain was. Look what I'm doing now.
Where's today's newspaper? Okay, the intrigue is just beginning, okay? We have this press conference, and down in the basement is brainless Albert Einstein. Things are about to go off the rails. The first domino to check on for, of course, Dr. Harvey. He claims he never stole Einstein's brain. This has been his story forever. He always claims, look, it was just a big misunderstanding.
Sure.
Yeah, oops, I was like, I meant to put it back. It got stuck I took it home in my car keys. I was like, I should bring this back.
I hate when that happens.
And then I didn't have anything to put it in.
Yeah.
So anyway, the idea is, unlike, say, the wrong briefcase he took home, it is actually, he's very aware that he took Einstein's brain with him.
Come on, dude. You took a brain home with you. I mean, unless his house is riddled with other random brains.
No, actually.
So there
not.
you go.
Yeah, no, it is like his only one. It's the beginning of his brain collection.
His home brain locker is empty. Save Einstein's brain.
He just has one very important brain. So Dr. Harvey explains, and I quote, from 1990, he told this to the Miami Herald. Quote, I was the one who removed the brain, of course, and had it. The family knew that I knew some good neuropathologist, and so, I guess, asked me to keep it. They thought it might throw some light on his genius, I guess. So he's of your mind. There may be some brain gems in there we can find.
Crystals, brain crystals, power crystals,
All the various head crystals that are possibly up there. Now, he also wasn't alone. I pointed out that you were there for the morgue scene.
Sure.
But then also there was Dr. Otto Nathan, who was a colleague and a friend of his, and also was the executor of the Einstein literary estate. So he had the family's blessing somewhat.
And he was just there as a spectator.
Yeah.
Like an emotional support
just sitting
watcher.
there like with a sandwich and a drink going, yeah, cut in.
And then I'm like up in the eaves dry heaving.
No, but he was a doctor, so he's a little more familiar. He'd gone through all of the desensitization necessary. So,
well, for these guys, it must have been like hot tickets. Like, hey, I'm going to cut Einstein open. You want in on this? He's like, oh, yeah.
You want to see the wet wonderland of Einstein?
He's wearing his Einstein t-shirt.
He's going to the concert. Well, Dr. Nathan, he apparently was fully aware of what everything was going on. And this is what Dr. Harvey says. Now, there was another doctor there, Dr. Dean, he was the one who signed the official death certificate. So 2 other doctors are there to apparently see this theft go down, if it indeed went down. After the autopsy, they take Einstein's body over to a funeral home, then over to a crematorium.
Oh, so he was cremated.
Yep.
Okay.
And the family sprinkled his ashes in the river. And they basically freed him from his earthly existence.
Right.
Except for the brain. The brain remained here.
And so he had people in there as witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
What did he use, like a sleight of hand, shove it in his pocket?
Look over there. He was by himself for a few minutes. So there was an opportunity. And you know what that means, opportunity?
Shove it down your pants.
Yeah. It's part of motive. So news leaks about this stolen brain. It somehow gets out. Turns out the news story is such that it makes it all the way up to the New York Times. The New York Times writes about it, and they run with the headline, "Key Sought in Einstein Brain."
Oh.
Which is a great headline.
Yeah.
I like that one. So the news story spoke of how Einstein's brain, quote, may shed light on one of nature's greatest mysteries, the secret of genius.
Yeah.
So everybody's right there with you on this idea that Einstein's brain must be able to reveal to us something about how he constructed the reality he did.
They want to talk to the little man who lives in there.
Exactly. They're like, knock, knock. Can we talk to Descartes?
You know who's in there? Buzzy. The animatronic. That's
He's
what
running
Buzzy.
Einstein.
It's all coming together now. He's
making connections. I like this.
It is.
So there's a second press conference scheduled for a couple weeks to announce like what they're going to do with the brain. Second press conference doesn't materialize because the Einstein family catches wind of the New York Times story. They're like, wait, what? Where is his brain? No one told us about the brain being missing. We just burned up the body. What the H-E double hockey sticks? Now, Dr. Harvey wasn't the one who'd gone to the press. It was Dr. Zimmerman who said the thing about the brain. He let it slip. And basically, he was like, hey, yeah, my boy, Dr. Harvey, he's going to bring me the brain of Einstein. I'm going to do this fabulous study. So he was hyping himself. And by hyping himself, he creates this huge problem for the Einstein family. And that's when Dr. Harvey goes into hiding.
Oh.
He's like, I'm taking this brain and I'm cutting. So
he's like in a gross motel room with the brain in a jar next to him.
Sitting on the bed next to him, he's just talking
low.
to it. And he's like, look, when the heat blows over, I'll take you somewhere nice. We'll go to the tropics, baby.
He has the brain in a jar and there's a wig on the jar.
On the top of the jar.
And
so
he's wearing a wig, yeah. Incognito mode.
I like that. Elizabeth, did you know that Einstein had an equation for happiness in life?
E equals MC squared.
Different equation.
I don't know. That's the only equation I know.
Really? It's a good one.
Well, there's the Pythagorean, isn't that? No.
The Pythagorean theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Yep. Yeah, and I think we have hit the end of the map for me.
Well, those are two good ones. Here's a third one we can add to you, all right? Einstein said, quote, if A is successful in life, the rule might be expressed A plus X plus Y plus Z. X being work and Y being play, and Z being keep your mouth shut.
Oh, hey-oh.
Yeah, exactly. So that could have been a little lesson to Dr. Zimmerman.
I would just say that, yeah.
Now, Dr. Harvey, meanwhile, can keep his mouth shut, but he's laying low. He's still going to work. He still has the brain. People are like, can we get the brain back? He's like, no. Well, maybe. I'm going to research it. The family gave it to me. The family says they didn't. Maybe they're wrong. Ask them again. He's like stalling as much as he can, running all circles around any logic that comes at him, right? Now, this lasts for a good while until the fall of that year. Dr. Harvey slips away with Einstein's brain. He's now had it in a formaldehyde-filled jar with the wig on top. And it's in shotgun next to him. And he drives up to Philadelphia and he goes to the University of Penn. And the reason he goes there is because they have, as he puts it, quote, a big lab there.
A big one.
Yeah, a real big one. So a big professional baby. So, and I quote, they had equipment for sectioning whole brains, including a microtome used only for brain work. Those particular microtomes are very scarce, and special technicians are needed to operate them. Dr. Eric, who ran the laboratory, had such a technician, and though it took 6 months to do, we did a beautiful job of sectioning the brain.
Okay.
So now he's got it going. He's like telling his story. No, this is for research. See, I sliced it all up.
He's got like a really nice deli slicer for it.
Exactly. Running big Einstein's brain through the deli slicer. They got super thin cut Einstein brain. They're like, this is suitable for the finest sandwich you can imagine.
Yeah, shave it. Just get it as thin as possible.
So now once he's got the brain sectioned up, what's he going to do with it?
Deli sandwiches.
No, he starts passing it around. He does a whole Johnny Appleseed routine around the country, taking bits of like Einstein brain to different scientists going, here's some for you and here's some for you.
Like pieces of the true cross.
Exactly. Coming all the way around full circle. So he said, and I quote, I usually delivered the pieces myself. It could have been handled by mail, I guess, but I wanted to meet these men. Only men, even though the person he went to at the University of Penn, a woman.
He's saying man as in mankind.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that one.
Well.
Anyway, after all these years, a study finally emerges. Now, how long do you think it takes before a study emerges?
I don't know.
Try 34 years.
Whoa.
In 1985, a scholarly article is published with the title On the Brain of a Scientist, Albert Einstein. Quite the prosaic title. Now, this was the only one, and this study purported essentially what your argument, which is that Einstein's brain must have been different from others, and this could be explained by the structure of his brain, or possibly brain gems. Now, Dr. Harvey, he's like, milking this theory. He's mentioned on the paper, even though he had nothing to do with it.
I like that it took him 34 years to come up with what I came up with in 30 seconds with brain gems.
I know, right? Ask the right questions. You get there faster.
Yep.
So that's pretty much all he has to show for it. Meanwhile, he loses everything. In 1961, just 6 years after that fateful autopsy that changed his life, Dr. Harvey loses his job because he won't give up the Einstein brain.
Oh, all because of that?
Yeah.
It's not because he's pocketing other brains.
No, he hadn't started like a new habit. He's not like, Dr. Harvey, you got to keep him.
He just wants friends, and he's got all these jars with wigs on.
With eyes attached, still attached to the brains.
Eyes.
So he loses his job. The hospital and the staff, everyone liked him, but it was payback because he had kept the brain. They're like, look, we got to get rid of you. You won't listen to the boss.
Bad look.
So he loses his job. Then that causes him to lose his wife. His wife takes his kids. So now he loses his job, his wife, and his kids.
It's like a country song.
Exactly. All in one fell swoop. The only thing he doesn't lose is his dog. No, it ain't got a dog. It ain't a country song. So now that he's lost everything, he moves to Kansas, where he had at one time lived. He gets a job in a plastics factory. He's working as a prison pathologist.
He's
Later on,
fallen hard.
Oh, real hard. In the 70s, he loses his license because he fails a medical exam. So then in the 90s, he moves back to Princeton, back to his old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Still got Einstein's brain, still in the formaldehyde, just doesn't have any good career futures.
Wait,
now,
he still has the brain at this point.
Still has the brain. In the 90s, he's just still got it. And he's been giving up some sections. He gave some to some researchers, and they came up with one paper. He's got the majority of the brain in a glass jar.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and so he gets into a car accident, and then...
Was the brain in the car accident?
No, brain wasn't involved in the car accident in this instance. And this is when journalist Michael Paternity, he reaches out to Dr. Harvey. And it requires months because Dr. Harvey just won't answer his phone. He's used to people badgering him. But finally, journalist wears down his resistance, and he gets the doctor to agree to go with him on a road trip to take Einstein's brain and drive it across country. Now, there's a good reason for this, though.
That's like the greatest feature to pitch to an editor.
Exactly. I found the guy who stole Einstein's brain. We're taking a road trip.
Driving across country, spring break, y'all.
Yeah, we're taking the brain. Don't worry. It's got a wig, sunglasses.
Got a picnic basket. It's good.
We got like a colored glass so in case it gets too hot. So Dr. Harvey, though, as I told you before, he had a secret plan. He wants to take Einstein's brain back to his granddaughter. He wants to reunite it with the family.
Okay.
So the journalist says, I love this pilgrimage. Let's do the brain trek.
I love this for us. Let's go.
Yeah, and he's like, look, you're all banged up from the car accident. I'll drive. He's like, all right, deal. So Dr. Harvey agrees to hop in a car with a stranger and drive across country with Einstein's brain.
What's he got to lose at this point?
Now, after this little break, we'll be back to dive into the great American road trip with Einstein's brain. So we're in the 1990s, Elizabeth. How's it feel? Feels good?
So good.
Can you hear the hole playing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Courtney Love is just booming in the speakers outside of the TCBY.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So
I like your Jinko jeans, by the way.
Thank you. They're extra big. These are size 40s.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually put a whole 1 pound block of cheese in my pocket.
As long as it doesn't get tangled on the wallet chain.
Yeah, no, I don't want it to.
That's how you cut the cheese. Hey!
She'll be here all night.
Thank
Please
you.
tip your
Thank you.
waitress. So the 90s, we all know and love. There had been, a heyday of interesting magazine writing at this time. And so Michael Paternity, he's like, oh, I want to get in on this. I got a story boss. The boss is like, I love it. Do it. So he gets a budget. He goes out and he rents a Buick Skylark, shows up in Princeton. He's like, Dr. Harvey, hop on in. Dr. Harvey's like, bet.
They're larking it up.
Yeah. So they're all ready to do their road trip. But there is some swirling darkness around the trip that I kind of have to mention, right?
Okay.
There are rumors. Paternity finds out because there was a journalist before him in the New Jersey magazine. A journalist went, Stephen Levy, and he basically looked for Dr. Harvey. He went to find the mystery of where is Albert Einstein's missing brain. So Paternity had somebody ahead of him on this path, and he basically realizes that there's these rumors that Dr. Harvey's trying to sell the brain. And one of the people the rumors point to is Michael Jackson is supposed to be wanting to buy Einstein's brain.
Out of here.
Yeah, he wanted to, I guess, keep it with the Elephant Man's bones, which he already owned.
Right.
Now, in the short film, Leave Me Alone, while doing research, I found that Michael Jackson has this scene where he's filmed dancing with the Elephant Man's bones.
No.
I swear to God.
No.
Yes. Anyway, so can you imagine him like moonwalking with a mason jar filled with Einstein's
Just
brains?
sloshing around the wall, and the formaldehyde's all cloudy after all this time. He's all hee hee.
In 1994, the Sacramento Bee updated this story, and they said, quote, try as he might, Harvey can't find an institution or museum that wants the brain that produced the theory of relativity. So everybody kind of knew that he was out there on the make trying to sell this brain.
He's losing jobs right and left.
Yeah, he's got really no future. He's basically looking for a retirement package at this point.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Harvey decides, you know what, since I can't sell it, Michael Jackson won't buy it, I'm going to have to do the right thing, damn it.
Yeah.
So that's when he comes up with the plan to bring it back to Evelyn Einstein, granddaughter of Albert. And he's like, okay, I'm going to get there. Michael Paternity sweeps in. He's like, I got a rental car. Let's do it, bro. Now, as I will quickly quote, the Sacramento Bee also reported that for a while there was an interest in Einstein's gray matter, especially what appeared to be its high concentration of glial cells. G-L-I-A-L, glial cells. But as an explanation of Einstein's brilliance, that theory fell by the wayside, and the secrets of his thinking prowess, or of anybody's for that matter, are now thought to lie in the complex chemical functions of the live organ, not the dead tissue. So now basically what he has is a jar full of useless body tissue that once belonged to Einstein.
I guess. Brain gems. If you shake someone really hard and you hear rattling, you know they're smart because it's the brain gems.
I'm going to write this down. Let me take some notes.
This is better than an IQ test.
Yeah, this is like true science.
You see someone, you're like, how smart is that guy? Hold on a second. Shake him violently. And then if he rattles like a maraca, you're like, I got me Einstein 2.0 here.
Yeah. Got a real brain genius over here. Hear that rattling like a rain stick?
Because I'm a brain genius.
Yeah, I like this. I think it's just kind of funny that science determines that Einstein's brain is essentially worthless to science. They're like, oh, by the way, your brain's worthless. So Einstein's brain basically had powers, and the powers were his animating spirit. It wasn't about the car, So anyway.
It's just the shell. Yeah.
So what did this journalist discover about the man who eventually stole the brain of this genius and now has this rather useless collection of body tissue?
You shake him? Nothing. Yeah. So, no sound.
You got these two strangers in this rental car driving across America, backseat filled with Einstein's brains, right? Now, meanwhile, Paternity, he starts this trip. He's got some hard questions. And I will quote from his book, Driving Mr. Albert, quote, is he a grave-robbing thief or a renegade? A sham artist or a shaman? What about the rumors that he plans to sell Einstein's brain to Michael Jackson for some unspecified millions of dollars, or has entertained another private offer of $3 million? So he's just sitting there. This is what's swirling around with him as he's like, all right, close the door, let's get on the road. They start driving across country. These questions seem to matter less and less the further they get away from Princeton. He starts focusing on the man. He starts to get into like, who was this guy when he was that 42-year-old doctor and just fate fell into his lap and said, hey, can you cut open the body of the most brilliant man you've possibly ever seen or known, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, okay. Well, at this point, Harvey, he's got the brain, as I've told you numerous times, and it's in essentially a giant glass mason jar, right? Or maybe like you think of like a candy jar. I don't know what jar would be such you could picture it.
In my head, giant mason jar.
Okay.
Or sometimes when you say it, I imagine like a big candy jar at like a store.
Yeah, like one of those ones like, guess how many jelly beans are in here?
Yeah, how many jawbreakers are in this thing? And there's like one loose jawbreaker floating in the formaldehyde with the brain.
Okay, well, getting ready for the road trip, turns out that Dr. Harvey, switched containers. And so Michael Paternity gets to finally see the brain. He's been talking to this guy for months. He keeps asking about it, and he's like, hey, before we get on the road, can you show me the brain? And he's like, I don't know about that. He's like, come on, man, just show me the brain. He's like, all right, can you kind of calm down a little bit? I'll go get it. So Dr. Harvey shuffles around, and now I turned it over to Michael Paternity. Quote, Harvey appeared from the darkness with a big cardboard box in his hands. He set it down and one at a time pulled out 2 large glass cookie jars full of what looked to be chunks of chicken in a golden broth.
Oh, God.
Einstein's brain chopped into pieces ranging from the size of a turkey neck to a dime. A swirling universe unto itself. Galaxies, suns, and planets. It seemed to glow. And the old man, he stood over it transfixed, nodding. In his face was a sudden nakedness, an expression of awe, of the soul manifesting itself on the surface of the body.
No. No.
Okay, I got one for you. Ready? Okay, so while they're driving across country, once they load up and they got the brain in the back seat, and it is in Tupperware that they package it up.
Here's the thing, though. When I imagine it in my head, it's like a cartoon.
Yes.
It's a comic. Yes. And then when you're reading these descriptions and it's like real. Chicken and... Yeah. Oh, my stomach is turning.
The broth.
Oh, so, stop it.
As they're going across country with the Tupperware, they start basically getting into some various stories of other people's brains and what happens to them. And there's an interesting one I thought you'd like to know. At the Y-Star Institute at the University of Pennsylvania, it was famous for how many bones and brains it once held back when that was the thing to keep. Mm-hmm. And the Institute had Walt Whitman's brain.
Oh.
Right? But then there was an accident. As the Birmingham Daily Mail reported in December 6, 1907, quote, Mr. Anthony Spitzka, professor at the Jefferson Medical College, in a published report on his comparative study of the brains of eminent American authors and scientists, states that Walt Whitman's brain is lost to science. A hospital employee carelessly dropped the jar containing the poet's brain, which was cut into pieces and could not be saved.
That's incredible.
Yes.
And it's like, so he's like mopping someone and they hit it with the handle and it skids across the floor.
Exactly. There's no dog to come in and eat it like that TV show.
Maybe.
But yeah, this one's like, oh, look, it's all mixed in with the glass. I can't even sort this out. Just put it in the dustbin.
Oh, God.
Yeah, cut my brain into pieces.
It's just the shell.
This is my last cortex.
Oh, God.
Right? No?
I like it. So, I'll allow it.
The Great American Road Trip with Einstein, it surprisingly wasn't as fun as it sounded.
Yeah, it does not sound like a barrel of laughs.
It's 2,900 miles from New Jersey to Berkeley, California. So they felt about all of those miles. Let's just put it that way. That Buick Skylark rental car, journalist and scientist, was pretty quiet for most of the drive.
Oh, gosh.
They had a couple times they got a little tense with each other. And also, there's other personal issues with both of their partners in their lives. So compounding pressures, right? Well, eventually, as we're getting closer to the West Coast, Paternity, he's like, this guy's a handful. I got to call Evelyn Einstein and let her know we're on our way. And see
Wait, she doesn't know they're coming?
And see if she really wants this to happen.
Oh, God.
Right? We shouldn't just shock her with this.
Yeah, you're just hanging out at home, and then these two goofballs pull up in a rental car with 2 jugs full of brain bits.
Your grandfather's brain.
Hey, Grandpa's brain.
Yeah, do you want this?
Here, take them.
Where should we put
They're
this?
fighting, and so they're just all passive-aggressive, just take it.
Here, you take it.
Oh, God.
Exactly. So when he calls her, Evelyn Einstein, she knows who this dude is. Mm-hmm. She's like, yes, the White Rabbit. And Paternity's not quite getting with the riff, right? And she's riffing on the Jimmy Stewart movie Harvey. So she explains to the young journalist, he lived in Kansas. His name is Harvey. Enough said, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, whatever. So
he's just flies over his head.
I totally don't get your mid-century references. So later in their phone call, Evelyn Einstein, who is pretty tense with him at first, she starts to warm up, and then So you start talking about the theft of her grandfather's brain, and she's like, it's dégoûtant. It's disgusting what he's done, right? But then she eventually softens her stance because the journalist, Michael Paternity, he's pretty kind and nice to her. And he's like, look, do you want to meet this guy or not? She's like, look, and I quote, I'm interested in science. I'm curious about the brain. And besides, I have to have a sense of humor about this. It's really the only way I can deal with it.
That's a good outlook.
With the organ and body parts of your dead relatives. Like, hey, you want to see this? You're like, I got to laugh at this.
Yeah, she's got a lot of brain crystals.
Super brain crystals, isn't it?
Brain gems.
No, miles and miles later, 2,900 to be exact, They get to Berkeley and they're like, hey, we got the brains. We're showing up at your place, right? And then they arrive at her place and she's prepared for it. And she's like, psychically prepared herself to deal with this guy who stole her grandfather's brain decades ago. And like, why would he want to show up at her house going, here, it's back. I'm sorry. Look, forgive me. She doesn't know what he's going to ask for, right? He shows up and he's the nervous one, right? He won't sit down. She's all gracious and generous, invites him into her home that has this beautiful view of San Francisco. It's a really nice Berkeley home. Mm-hmm. He's sitting there. He stands up. The journalist is sitting on the couch with her. The two of them are having a conversation. He won't sit down. They ask him, hey, you want to sit down? He's like, nope. Hey, you want to sit down? Yeah. 4 times it takes before he finally's like, okay, I'll sit down.
He knows he's done wrong.
Oh, yeah. No, he's highly nervous around her. Now, she tries to break the ice. And so she's asking him questions. She's like, hey, did you autopsy the whole body? And he's like, oh, yeah, the whole body. She's like, what was that like? He's like, oh, quote, why, it made me feel humble and insignificant. She's like, I can see that, right? And the journalist, he's like, I got involved in this. I got a couple questions. Let me pepper him with a couple. So he's like, hey, can we see the brain? Let her see the brain. Show her the deal, right? He's like, I don't know if that'd be a good idea. And she's like, no, that would be wonderful. And he's like, okay, let me go get the Tupperware. So he pulls out the Tupperware container that he's got the brains and the brain broth in. And he's like, puts it on the little, I don't know, I imagine like a coffee table. And he's like, pushes aside the day's newspapers. He's like, here, let me put a little space for the brain. Cracks open the lid.
Whoa, he took the lid off.
Takes the lid off. He pulls out a piece of her grandfather's brain. He's holding it up.
With his hands.
Yeah, his hands touching it. It's all formaldehyded. The stink is filling the room. It just now smells like a morgue in there. And he's like, yeah, you want to touch it? You want to hold it? She's like, yeah. He won't hand it to her. She's like all confused. He's like, yeah, you want to touch it? And then he don't hand it to her. She's like, what is this guy's deal? Like, I don't get it.
That boy ain't right.
Exactly. The journalist Paternity, he's getting annoyed, right? So he's like, dude, just hand her the body part. And she's like, yeah, no, we just put it back in the Tupperware, right? And he seals the lid, won't give it to her. She's like, it's my grandfather's brain. Let me hold the brain. And he's like, I don't know. Look, I got to call my cousin. He lives in San Mateo. I'm going to go have dinner with him. So she's like, well, I had dinner plans for all of us. I thought we could go out. No, I got to go see my cousin. I don't get out here that often. She's like,
I had dinner plans, eyeing the Tupperware.
Did you bring cayenne pepper? So at this point, Dr. Harvey's like, look, I got to split. And he's like, you going to give me a ride? And the journalist is like, no, bro, we're done. This trip is over. So they diverge paths. And he just takes off and goes to meet his cousin. He ends up taking Bart over to...
Stop it.
Yes, he takes Bart over because he's like, the chauffeur won't drive me. So he just goes and he takes Bart.
Well, then he would have to get on Caltrain to get down to San Mateo.
Oh, yeah, totally. Good call. Yeah. So
a lot of transit options there.
Meanwhile, he leaves the brain behind in the rental car.
All 3 of them at this point, I'm just like, enough. They all need a good smack in the face.
Evelyn and Paternity, the journalist, they go outside and they're on taking a little walk, coming back from dinner. They see the rental car and they notice that the Tupperware is in back. And she's like, he left the brain? Does he do this often? Like, what's been going on this road trip? And Paternity's like, no, man, I don't even know what the deal. The two of them look at each other like, what a kook he was, huh?
Right?
All right, like, so glad he's gone, right?
He just couldn't bear to say, here's the brain. Like, that was his French exit. Just like, I gotta go.
I'm out. Peace. Deuces.
Wow.
So Paternity grabs the brain. They bring it inside, crack open the lid. He's like,
what is wrong with these people?
Like, you want to play with your granddad's brains? So she's like, oh, yes. She runs her fingers through the golden broth. She spies the brains all bobbing in there like stars or galaxies or apples at a county fair. And so...
Do they go bobbing for apples?
Bobbing for brains. So she's like poking around at the brains and she's like, so this is what all the fuss is about? And she's like, running her finger through the brains.
Stop it.
Now he tries, Paternity's like, hey, can I leave these with you? You just keep these?
He's like, you seem to like them. Straw in the liquid.
Takes a little slurp.
We get a bang off that.
just a little taste. I just always wanted to. Doc would have thought it was weird. So she's like reluctant. She's like, no, I don't want the brains. You can take them. He's like, no, I'm just going to leave them here. She's like, no, you take them.
Nobody wants them.
They start fighting over the brains, but nicely. Not like actually fighting, but casually. Like, no, you take it. In the end, he takes the brains and he's like, oh, fine, I'll take the damn brains. So he takes the brains. He gives them back to Dr. Harvey. He's like, look, here, you take the brains back. Dr. Harvey's like, I thought we were giving them to her. I thought I was good. We're out. And he's like, no, man, I'm done. I'm going to go write this book. All right. So paternity checks out. Dr. Harvey goes back to Princeton and he takes the brain back to where he got it, to Princeton Hospital. And he's like, how about you guys? Will you take the brain? And so he then takes it to this dude, Dr. Elliot Krause, who now has his job. Dr. Elliot Krause is the pathologist at Princeton Hospital. And he commented on how strange this moment was for him. Dr. Elliot Krause said, and I quote, he didn't really say anything. He just walked in here and he handed me the cardboard box. I mean, I think he was relieved. He looked relieved, but he didn't really say anything. Didn't give me instructions or anything. He just, now it's mine. So now this dude has the
silently walks in.
Yeah, gives him the box.
Sets it down.
Doesn't say anything. Just like, you know. So worried that, some careless janitor might knock it off the shelf and have like a Whitman accident, or that somebody else might come in and steal it. This pathologist, he's like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to take this home.
No.
So he takes the Einstein brain home with him. The Lord of the Energy rings of this is so great.
You learned nothing.
My precious.
Oh, God.
So he's over there. And, interestingly, all these people, none of them stop to think about what would Einstein want us to do with his brains.
Yeah.
So Einstein very clearly said, and I quote, people shouldn't worship my bones.
So it isn't even like, oh, I wonder what he would have said. He's like, he said it. Literally.
Yeah, we have to assume that applies to brains. Like bones and brains, he means my body parts.
Well, he had that really beautiful thing of my task here is done. Mm-hmm. Like he's got a lot of brain gems. He's seeing way beyond this, you guys.
Let him slip his mortal coil to slip out of his skin and go be one with the universe.
Yeah.
But there you go. That is our story of the Albert Einstein brain theft.
Wow.
Elizabeth, what's our ridiculous takeaway?
I'm going to be really self-centered and focused on me right now.
Go for it. I like this.
My takeaway is that I can dish it out, but I can't take it. Yes. I can say lots of gross stuff, but when you're telling me all these gross things, I am literally queasy.
I was worried, but then also a little excited to do this one. Now, my ridiculous takeaway, thanks for asking, is
it was all about me right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
haven't called time on that yet. All right, fine. Go ahead.
Can I have the conch shell?
Yes.
Thank you, Ralph. Starting with a favorite quote of his, Einstein once said, and I quote, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Now, for me, that's the ultimate lesson of Einstein. When a finger points to the sky and shows you the wonders of the heaven, don't get hung up on the finger.
Yes.
Stay focused on the wonder, not the finger that pointed it out. Like, I don't see how that's so hard to grasp. And also, here's my second part. That finger that's pointing, that's the same finger that you could pick a nose with. There's nothing special about a finger. Even if it's Einstein's, doesn't frickin' matter. In this case, even if it's his brain, it doesn't frickin' matter. It's what we do with the brain that matters. Far more than the gray matter itself.
Perfect.
That's all I got to say.
Beautiful.
That's it. Be back next week for another one.
Later.
You can find us online at Ridiculous Crime on both Twitter and Instagram. You got a tip for us about a ridiculous crime you'd like to hear about? You want to confess to a ridiculous crime? Hit us up. Email us at ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by the resident pathologist of the soul, Dave Kustin. Research is by the chief anatomist to the stars, Marissa Brown. Our theme song is by Thomas, let me finger your brains, Lee, and Travis, no, get away from me, Dutton. Executive producers are Ben, Brains for Days, Bolin, and Noel, how much for a stolen liver, Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.